Alright, guys. So, I said I had 2 different Rebirth ideas, and I was just like, I'm just gonna post both of them, because, like, it's just kind of coincides, right? Like, it just kind of, they both coincide, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do both. And that, as you can see from the title, Captain Planet Rebirth. So, Captain Planet Rebirth is another, like, crossover universe kind of story, so bear with me on it. Excuse me. So yeah, let's get started. So the story begins in, again, present time, and the planet is fucked. Like, right now, we all know the planet is thoroughly fucked. And we start with Gaia, who is dying. Gaia is dying. Like, she's literally, like, on death's door. And Gaia has been trying desperately to keep the planet alive. So she's just been like, I don't have the Planeteers anymore. They gave up years ago. And I've been holding my own with only one of the Planeteers stay. They didn't die. We'll get to the old Planeteers in a bit, but like only one of the 5 Planeteers only stuck around, and even then it was more to take care of me, and that was Mati. Mati was the only one who stuck around to take care of Gaia, while the other Planeteers went off and gave up the fight. So, well, not necessarily, but we'll get to them in a bit. So, now Gaia is like, we need to bring back Captain Planet. Captain Planet is our only hope of saving this world, and at least, keeping me alive for a little while longer. She's like, I've done everything, and mankind has shit the bed. And Mati is like, yeah, maybe we can bring back Captain Planet in a new form, and maybe he can, I don't know, turn the people we don't like into trees. And Gaia's like, no, we're not doing that. You stupid? And Mati's like, sorry, bad joke. So what do you want to do? So Gaia, more or less, is like, you're not going to like this, but I'm going to need your ring for this. And Mati is just like, I've kind of figured this was coming. So he takes his ring off, and Gaia uses her power to use to send the rings off to find new people, to find new Planeteers. And this time around, it's going to be like, yeah, you're right. Captain Planet needs to come back, but he can't come back the same way. So the rings shoot off like fucking Green Lantern rings out into the cosmos in order to find new people. So the first one ring goes to Ibuki from Danganronpa. She gets one of the rings. Another person who gets a ring is Julian from Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja. You also have another ring who goes to Trixie from American Dragon Jake Long. That's 3. Another ring goes to... who else did I have? Oh. Another ring goes to Gerald from Hey Arnold. And finally, the last ring goes to Double D from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. So all of them are like brought together, and Gaia brings them together and tells them, look, you guys are the new Planeteers, but the thing of it is, I'm going to give you what power I can to bring back Captain Planet. And they're like, Captain Planet? He hasn't been around since the end of the 90s. Like, what happened to him? And what happened? Why don't you have the other Planeteers doing it? And she's like, they gave up. Like, they were trying to deal with, trying to put Band-Aids on massive scars on the planet. They kept fighting a fight that, they could stop a villain here and there, but they weren't stopping, the oil companies. They weren't stopping the people who were funding the oil companies or the government that was, supporting them. It was an uphill battle. So mankind and evil won. But I believe Captain Planet can still be a force of good. So, yeah. But now, summoning Captain, they're like, let our powers combine. And they're like, no, that's not how it's going to be. It's going to be a little different instead of using your powers to combine into Captain Planet. You'll understand. So they go out as the Planeteers, and they've been now made. Gaia has now made them the Planeteers, and the first thing they need to do, like the first thing she sends them to do, is deal with Haggis. If you guys remember Haggis, he was a big deforesting son of a bitch who was a fat fuck. So they go out and deal with him, and Haggis has gotten morbidly obese now. He's just like sitting like in a just rolls of fat, and he's like just breathing like he can't breathe right. He needs to be on an oxygen tank, and he's just like, don't care, I'm making tons of money. And they're like, we're gonna so they battle him very easily. Like he's just like, he gets into a screaming match with them, and then he has a heart attack and dies. And they're like, this is gonna be pretty fucking morbid if he's like that, right? Like we're all expecting it to look way worse, and because Ibuki brings this up, like, it's gonna look so much worse, isn't it? Because it's like, yeah, we now see the effects of what these people have done. Like, we're now seeing it when the villains win, what happens to them. So, Gaia's just basically given them, like, we need to stop these villains here and now, or they're just gonna cause more damage. So Gaia sends them off. Next person on the list, Verminius Scum. And he's de-evolved. He's more or less been living in the sewers as this de-evolved, like, humanoid, like, just full rat monster. He's gone feral. He's a lot like Vermin from Marvel Comics. And he just attacks them. This time around, the Planeteers, instead of using their rings to battle him, Ibuki actually says, like, let our powers combine. And rather than, use the rings to summon Captain Planet, they all get pulled together and fused together to become Captain Planet. Think of it like the Flashpoint version of Shazam, where the Shazam family one of them said the name, and then they all came together to form Shazam, or Captain Thunder as he was known as. So, but here's the thing. Since Ibuki said it, Gaia didn't tell them, like, yeah, Captain Planet would come back differently. So, more or less what happens is, when Ibuki said, she's the one who said it, Captain Planet came back a woman. And they're like, by your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. And she's just like, it feels weird, but it feels good. Like, it's good to be back, and dang, I look good. So think of it like when one of the female Planeteers says it's Captain Planet, they fuse together to become a woman Captain Planet. But if, like, Gerald or one of the other male Planeteers says it, they become a male, the classic male Captain Planet. That's that's one of the new spins. But however, Captain Planet, like, quickly realizes that his powers are not, like, her powers aren't up to snuff as they once were. Because the planet has been, since Captain Planet's been away, the planet has been horribly, poisoned. So her powers are greatly affected. So they take out Vermilius, and by this point, that's when the government's like, the U.S. Oil companies are like, hey, so Captain Planet's back, and he's knocking off our shall we say, assets. Think you can help with that? You think you can help with that? And the person they're talking to is Wheeler. Wheeler has now become like a enforcer for this oil company, and and Wheeler is like, yeah, I used to buy what what Gaia was selling, but then I realized there's no fighting it. There's no, like, we can picket signs and summon a superhero, but if we never attacked the real problem. We never did. We can get keys to the city all live long day, but at the same time, they're still going to they're still going to poison poison the rivers of those same officials are going to poison the inner city parts with toxic lead water while giving us keys to the city. So he just got disillusioned to it. As for the others, members of the Planeteers, Kwame he gave up, but, like, he still wants to fight the good fight, and he became a doctor in Africa. And we also have Ki. She is now, like, protecting the waters in she's now like an oceanographer in Japan and making sure that there's conservation for whales, even though the Japanese government really has a lot of pushback on her. Then finally Linka, who has now been an aeronautics scientist and is now like building new planes for the Russian military. Also, like they all just gave up and are now like some of them were like, look, the fight was good and Gaia really made a compelling argument, but at the same time, it was pointless. So now we're just going some of them even say like we're just kind of prolonging the inevitable, but we're just fighting in our own way. So, yeah. So the new planet. So obviously the return of Captain Planet has made people, some people nervous, like Dr. Blight, who her infection has kind of grown to like horrible growths and whatnot, and she's just kind of on a wheelchair now, just clinging to life. While Mel, her AI, is kind of running the show at this point. You also have Nukem, who is just become like this radioactive rock that's even being used by a energy company as an energy source. It's just like it's all around fucked up. But Wheeler especially wants to try to talk to the these new Planeteers and be like, hey, this shit is not gonna go the way you think, you know. So yeah, while Wheeler gets tasked with being the one to take down this new Captain Planet, he's also like, I kind of don't want to kill them because I was like them, I was idealistic, but at the same time I got orders and I like money, so yeah. So he actually gets in touch with Linka, and the Russian government has actually also been like, hey, Linka, you know how you've been building some cool stuff with us for us? Well, can you build us some stuff to kill Captain Planet? He's back and is like sometimes a man, sometimes a woman. Can you just build something to kill them? Yeah. So there, and Linka and Wheeler meet back up, and from there we reveal that they were married, they divorced, and yeah, but now they're like circumstances brought us together because we're going to be here to stop the Planeteers, stop them from getting them killed, and if we have to, finally kill Captain Planet. Now Quan Yi and Ki and Mati are all like, yeah, this is like, maybe we should jump back into the fight now that Captain Planet's back. And there are other people, like even the new Planeteers themselves all have like these conversations of like, God, maybe they were right. Maybe we aren't doing enough. Maybe Captain Planet isn't doing enough as, you know, to stop these environmental disasters. If the powers that be aren't going to do it, don't we have the right to do it, to protect this planet? We were given this job. So it leads a lot of ethical debates until finally Wheeler catches up with them and tries to convince them to stop. But they're like, no, you know, Captain Planet is needed for a reason. And to which he's like, all right, I asked nicely. So then he reveals that like a long while ago, the other villains used and made Wheeler the new Captain Pollution. So he actually becomes Captain Pollution, and now that Pollution's an all-time high, he's even more powerful than Captain Planet was ever before. So they do battle, and it is just an all-out knockout fight from both sides, until finally all the Planeteers get together, and it's not just them, like Quan Yi, Ki, Mati, they also, you know, dig deep within themselves to help give power to Captain Planet. Even Link is like, this is a little fucked up, but Wheeler's just like, no, I need to end this. This insanity ends, and once I'm done with you, I'm gonna do what I should have done and take out Gaia, and because it's over. Like, she made us into child soldiers for a war that we were never gonna win. So, but they defeat Wheeler, even ended up just vaporizing him. And by that point, when Captain Planet, the new Planeteers, along with the remaining old Planeteers, they are like, yeah, we need to do just more than talk online. Like they have this whole thing of like we need to do more than just say it. Like there's a difference between saying something and actually doing it. Like we're connected now ever more than ever before, and yet we just talk. You know, let's do now. And of course, like there's internet discourse and whatnot, but it does get the world sparked, and even Captain Planet, like they become Captain Planet again, and they're like, and to all those other groups out there, watch out, we're coming. So there you go. So there you go. There's my fanfiction idea for Captain Planet Rebirth. Kind of a just fun idea, and like something I know people have brought up, like if they were to reboot or bring back Captain Planet, it'd be something like this. So I thought I'd throw my own hat in the ring for that. I thought that'd be kind of fun, and yeah, it probably would be like a big ethical debate now of like you've seen a lot of parody channels and stuff like that talking about like Captain Planet didn't really do anything. So yeah. But hey, this is just a fun little idea I had. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Captain Planet Rebirth? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.